watching the rhyme, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits, subscribe, if you wanted to do some head swappage, it doesn't really work. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Spider-Man Homecoming movies Vulture. If you're trying to pick these up, you can get them at
Big. Get your big badass toys at bigbadtoystore.com. Click the link in the description below.
I gotta give a big thanks to Xmanny87 for giving me the heads up on these figures. Thanks so much, brother. If you want to check out his Instagram, link is in the description below. We get Spidey right over there. Nice looking Tom Holland Spidey. And then on the back, you can see a product shot. And then there's a read up over here. If you want to read it, pause it now. And then we get the staggered figures from the wave. And then there's the Build-A-Wings right there. And then we get Spidey once more. And then we get the Spidey logo spot varnished on the top from the design from the movie, which I really like. Alright, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Vulture out of the packaging. And he does have the Build-A-Wings attached. Man, it took me quite some time to finally get this all completed. And I think it was well worth it. This is a very, very cool executed Build-A-Figure set from Hasbro. I think they did a fantastic job with this piece. I really do like it a lot. While I still have complaints, I do have things that I wish were done a little bit better. For instance, he's not using the stand that comes with the Build-A-Figure pieces. He's using a Mafex stand right over there, which isn't bad. And I gotta say, I wish we had an actual stand for this guy, because it is tricky using this Mafex stand over here. So if they had included a different type of stand, something that would give him a little bit more lift off the ground, I would have really appreciated that, because it is tricky posing this guy fighting Spider-Man. But I did get some very cool shots, and I did have a very fun time taking photos of this figure. It is a beautiful piece. I do like it a lot. So let's get a closer look at the Vulture figure, and then we'll take a closer look at the Build-A-Wings. Now before I go on talking about this helmet sculpt over here, I gotta say, I kind of wish that we'd gotten a Michael Keaton head sculpt. And isn't everybody excited about Michael Keaton playing the Vulture? I really think that's one of the most genius casting decisions ever for comic book movies anyway. And if you haven't seen The Founder, I highly recommend it. Just recently watched that. I still need to see Birdman though, so I'm gonna catch up on my Michael Keaton movies. And don't forget Multiplicity. If you haven't seen Multiplicity, you gotta go watch that movie. But anyway, looking at this helmet sculpt over here, I think they did a very good job of capturing how it looked in the trailers. So just comparing right over here, I think Hasbro did a very good job of capturing the likeness of this helmet sculpt. And looking at this figure's helmet sculpt very closely, I mean, wow, I think they did a great job with this. I really like it a lot. I love this clear plastic that we're getting right over here for the visor. I also think this design idea really makes sense. I always thought it was kind of weird that the Vulture would be flying around up in the sky without any, protection, especially with the lack of oxygen when you get into, higher elevations and everything. But looking at the eyes right here, I love how we're getting this very bright green. I do notice a little speck missing right over there on his right eye, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Kind of seeing it on the left one too, but it's not that bad. At least they're even, right? More or less anyway. And I really like this metallic olive green color that we're getting throughout the helmet. I think that looks great. Get some nice silver right here. Then you have some air supply going in right there. I think that's great. You have some more green added right there on the side of the helmet, and I think it looks pretty good. There is some marbling going on over here, but for the most part we're getting some very nicely sculpted lines. Yeah, having a Michael Keaton head sculpt to put on this thing would be really cool to have. I actually would really like that. I mean, how neat would that be, right? But still, I'm very pleased with this. It looks pretty good. Then I like how we have this Aviator Jacket right over here. Very appropriate. Very much reminds me of the comics, so I think that's very good. They kind of missed some brown paint right over there, but for the most part I think that looks pretty nice. Very pleased with that. And looking at his jacket, we get some nice gold buckles throughout, some nice black straps, some very nicely detailed art right over here. Well, sculpting anyway. I call it art. It is art though, these guys that make these figures, they are artists. I consider them to be. I think we all should. I mean, come on. When was the last time you made a figure? And if you're an action figure customizer, I would consider you an artist as well. That's not an easy thing to do, man. But anyway, going back onto the figure right here, I do think it looks really good. Very nice metallic olive green color that we're getting throughout. And then looking at this other arm, looks pretty sweet. Then these little hip pieces right over here, look very good. I love how there's a lot of metallic coloring throughout on this. It looks really nice. Get some nice variation right over here on the legs. I think that looks really good too. Then in certain spots the light reflects kind of slightly different colors on it. You know, you could see right over here, like we're getting, I don't know, almost, bless you Charlita one. But yeah, we're getting some nice bright yellows kind of popping through right over there, or browns anyway. I don't know, it's almost like a goldish hue reflecting in there, and I think that's really neat. I dig that a lot. That's awesome. Nice sculpted detail. Then here's the talons. I think this is somewhat accurate to what I'd seen, but the talons did look a little bit longer. So you do need this guy to be able to stand at the same time though, so I can understand why they've done that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think that still looks fine though. I think I'm going on too long about that. He does have peg holes under his feet. Then here's a look at the back of the legs. We got the Vulture butt right there, and then there's the port. And yeah, so let's move on to the wings. So here are the wings taken apart. I did want to show how this is all assembled for you guys. The centerpiece right over here with the stand comes with the actual Vulture figure. This right piece right over here, or his left side of the wing, that comes with the Moon Knight figure. This right side does come with the Cosmic Spider-Man. This piece, which is the hardest one to get, comes with the tech suit Spidey. And then this one right over here does come with the homemade suit Spider-Man. And then this comes with Tombstone. And then this piece right over here comes with the Beetle. So let's get this all built. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? Alrighty, so taking a look at that right over there, I guess we can go ahead and start with the tech suit piece, port that in, and that's very easy to do. And then you can take this piece right over here, and oh, this goes right into this port right over there, so just snap that in there. And then we have this piece is going to come in right over here. It's a little turbine thing, twist that around, port that in. And then, as you can see, I mean, this is not very difficult to do. I had this upside down though. And then I'm going to put this into the lower section right there. Then go ahead and grab this big old piece and port that together like, yeah, and then go ahead and take this piece right over there. And here are the wings once more, all built. And I think this looks fantastic, and I just think this is awesome that we finally have this Build-A-Vehicle going on for the Marvel Legends line. There were talks of a Build-A-Hover chair during the Toy Biz days. Also during the Toy Biz days, there's talks of a Build-A-Quinjet. So to finally get this Build-A-Vehicle type thing going on right here for Marvel Legends, I think is quite an achievement, and I think it was very well executed. I think it looks awesome. I mean, even looking at that effect right there, that is sick, man. Let's get a closer look. So I'm just going to pan throughout the whole wingspan over here so we can see all these details. I love how we're getting a lot of gunmetal color for this plastic right here. You can even see some of the sparklies right there in the plastic. I think that looks really good. We do get this very light gray plastic for those turbines over there, which I think is actually quite suiting. And I love that they have all this detail right over here on the inside of the jetpack portion of the wings. I think that's really good. I think that's great. And you can see that peg right over there. That's where it ports into the back of the figure. And I'll discuss more about that later. You can see some stress marking right over there. So yeah, you do want to be careful with that, even though I have not had mine break on me at all, but I do feel that it could break. One thing I want to mention is that I do feel like the wings that I saw in the trailers do look a little bit more bulky than this action figure incarnation of these movie Vulture wings. Regardless, I do think these look great, and we're looking at the back side of the wings right now. I have to admit, at first I didn't really like this design, but actually having this figure in hand right now, I actually really like it. I think it's very suiting for a Vulture to have these giant wings right here. And look at that blue and purple fade right there. That looks magnificent. I love that. That is just beautiful. Love seeing the blue fading into the purple like that. I really like that a lot. I love that olive green color too that we're getting throughout over here. This is sweet, man. I'm really digging these a lot. That's awesome. Now, while it's tricky to see, this is the little stand that it comes with, and you can see how it just ports right in there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Having this with the figure, you're not going to get, you know, very many aerial poses or anything like that, but yeah, you could put it on either side, you know, so you could balance it the way you want. I do think this is fairly clever though. I do like that they have it, but I would wish that we can get like a full display stand with articulated arms and a clamp and everything. Now, to demonstrate how to port the wings into the back of the figure, you can see that we have the hole on the lower half of the figure's torso. So usually when we have ports in the back, they're usually on the upper half of a torso, but this is on the lower half right over there. And you just want to be mindful of that when you're articulating the figure, because I have had a tendency to want to, you know, move the wings up by bending the upper torso, but it's not going to work like that. So anyway, you can see right over here, you get a little bit of stress markage for me kind of screwing up a little bit. You can see it just a little bit right there. So you do want to be careful, but it is very strong plastic, and I do like that the port is fairly long and it just goes in like so, and I think that's pretty good. I also think it's pretty neat that you can get the figure to stand all on his own without having that little base right there, but demonstrating the articulation while the wings are attached, that's something I really wanted to do. You can get his head moving upward that much, and I think that's great. You also get a forward and back kind of movement with that neck joint, so you do get some really good movement right over there for the head. You can also make him look down quite a bit also. You can tuck the chin right in there a little bit, but he will look down further if you have the chin tucked out of this big collar right there. You can, of course, have his head turned side to side, and you do get head pivot right here. The shoulders do move outward that much. You can move them downward only this far. They will rotate, well, not 360 because the wings are in the way. You get a bicep swivel right there. You get double jointed elbows that bend in that far. His wrists turn side to side. They hinge up and down. And then again, just talking about the torso crunching, you don't want to grab onto this while you crunch forward. You just let him crunch forward like that. So there you go. He will crunch forward only that far, and he won't really crunch back so much with the wings attached. And then you do get a waist swivel right here. His hip joints do move outward that much, and he will kick forward and back a little bit. You get an upper thigh cut. You get double jointed knees, and I thought they bent in more than this, but that's all they can bend inward. And then he also has an ankle that moves down, up, and you can get that shifting upward very nicely. I like that a lot. And of course, he does have ankle pivot. I really wish he could kick higher than this. That's one gripe of mine I really need to mention, is that, I don't know, I just wish he can get into like more bird-like or vulture-like poses, being able to kick up more. As far as the wings go, you get the hinge right here on these turbine pieces. I call them the turbine pieces anyway. You can move these up and down, and you can spin these, so they spin really well like that. I think that's very cool. And you can also spin them right here within. And then you can also hinge the wings up and down right over here at the base. And you can also hinge them up and down over here, as well as fold them inward that far. I mean, it's going to look weird if you fold it in more than that, and they will move all the way outward. So you get some gappage. So you kind of want to keep them like that. And then just seeing how they look when they're folded in like this, I think that's pretty cool. So you can get some pretty good poses with this guy, with the wings and everything. I think that's pretty neat, and I did have a lot of fun with this. Now, one thing I will mention is I do wish these pieces right here could swing upward. Like if we had this kind of joint right over here, going on right over here, I thought that would have been pretty neat, but I'm still happy that you can move this up and down. Measuring the height of this Vulture figure, you can see that to the top of his helmet, he's at about 7 inches tall, maybe just a little bit under 7 inches tall. And then measuring the wingspan over here, I am looking at about 22 inches across. This is a very good looking wingspan. And then I guess if you wanted to measure the height including the wings, you're looking at about 8.5 inches. Now for your Michael Keaton Vulture comparison, we have the 3 3/4 inch 2-pack Vulture right over there with our build of Vulture. And I have to mention that he is using the stand right now. So having the wings a little bit closer to his body does make him a little bit trickier to stand. And then comparing our movie Vulture to the comic version of Vulture, this is the Marvel Legends Fearsome Foes pack Vulture. And you can see that the wingspan over here is much smaller than the movie version, which is one reason why this wingspan really threw me off at first, but now I actually really do like it. And I also like how we have the collar matching right between these two. Another reason why I'd like to have a Michael Keaton head sculpt is it would be nice to kind of replicate this look for the Vulture. I thought that would be kind of neat to do at some point. Maybe we'll get that head sculpt later on in the future, I don't know. And here's Vulture amongst all of our other cinematic Spidey villains, and I think this looks very cool. I am actually missing the new Goblin figure. I don't really want that one. I never really wanted to pick that one up. You guys can understand. But I'm very happy to see these 6 right over here. I think that looks very cool. That could be a Sinister 6, right? I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to mention, just like a little ShartimusPrime YouTube channel fun fact, that this Venom figure right over here is really what pushed this channel over the edge to becoming a YouTube partner and what really got things going for this YouTube channel. So I'm forever grateful. Thank you so much, JB. And I actually won this from doing my first stop motion video on the YouTube channel. I really wish to do stop motion again. I know you guys asked for me to do it. It's just time. And here's the Build-A-Figure Vulture alongside all of the other figures from this wave. And I think this is a great wave. Hasbro's been doing a really good job lately. I'm really happy with the figures they've been putting out. I just got my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 set, so I'll be reviewing that next. I also have the Black Panther figure. Thanks again, X-Man87. But to rank these figures, man, I hope I don't lose a lot of subscribers because I don't think my ranking for these figures from this wave is going to be consistent with the majority of my viewers. So hey, this is just my personal opinion. I'm ranking them the way I like them. At the very bottom of the list, I am putting the Beetle. I still really like that Beetle figure a lot. It's not that I don't like it. It is not for sale. I like the Beetle figure. It's just at the bottom of this list because I really do like this wave a lot. Next up would be Moon Knight. I do like the Moon Knight figure. It's not for sale. I'm glad I have it, but I really like my silver variant from Toy Biz. I do like that one more. So if I was just, out there on the hunt for these figures, this would not be at the top of my list at all, man. I'm really happy with the silver variant, but I still think this is a very good figure. Next would be the Cosmic Spidey. I really dig that Cosmic Spider-Man. I just think it looks awesome, and then we get 3 interchangeable heads. I do like how the body mold came out too. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that Cosmic Spidey figure. And then next up would be the Vulture. Movie Spider-Man figures I would always have to get, but for the villains I was always kind of wishy-washy on, and I do like this Vulture figure a lot. I have been having a lot of fun posing it around. It's just that it's not the piece that I was most excited for from this wave, and still just not my favorite figure from this wave. And then next up would be the Homemade Suit Spider-Man. I really like this Homemade Suit Spidey. I think it looks very cool, very good articulation. I do dig it a lot. Then next would be the Tombstone figure. I can't tell you how long I have wanted a Marvel Legends Tombstone in my collection. I always liked Tombstone a lot. I thought he was a very interesting character. Really like him. And then the number 1 spot is the Tech Suit Spider-Man. Oh my goodness, I'm so pleasantly pleased with this figure. I like it so much, man. And I thought it was going to be just a simple retool, but it was not. Really dug that. If you didn't see yesterday's review on the Tech Suit Spidey, go ahead and check it out. But yeah, man, if you want to leave a comment down below with your ranking, please go ahead and do so. I'd like to see what you guys think of this wave. And here's the Vulture Build-A-Figure next to the Marvel Legends Big Time No Letdown Spider-Man. And here's Vulture with an accessory that he didn't come with. This is the gun that came with the Squeaks Transformer figure, and I think that actually works pretty well for that, that crazy laser thing that we see him using in the trailer. I thought that's kind of neat that you can add that to him. His hands actually grip around a couple of these gun pieces fairly well. I do like this Build-A-Figure a lot. I really dig it, man. I thought this was very clever and very well executed on Hasbro's part, and I just think it's an overall very good wave. If you're trying to get the whole wave, I think you're going to be very happy, but at the same time, it's a pretty good way for cherry picking too. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the review. Let me know what you think of this figure. If you liked the video enough, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can see more ShartimusPrime videos coming your way. And if you're already subscribed and you have not hit the notification bell, please go ahead and do so you know that when videos are posted immediately. And then I gotta give a big thanks to all these people over here for making sure that this YouTube channel is running smoothly. Your guys' support is very much appreciated. And if you check the link in the description below, you'll see how I have goals set in place for bringing stop motion back. And then if you want to see a photo gallery of images, it's all over at marvelousnews.com, and you can follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures.